And we are live. We're live in 3 places. There we go. All right. Welcome to Shalom's Unsnobby Music Hobby Podcast, where we do all kinds of things. We can talk about stuff. We can have interviews. In fact, we will be having an interview this Friday with a recurring guest, Donnell from Ambi Athletics. And yesterday we had the guest host, my lovely wife, on reading a book. Today I'm going to be reading a book because I didn't know what else to do. And I didn't really want to vibe with the live music. I'm kind of tired, so that's why that's happening. I got wires all over the place, so I'm going to move those because I can't really see if anyone is on Instagram wanting to communicate. So let me move that out of the way, and then we'll keep on going. All right, we got Instagram set up, Facebook set up, YouTube. So the book we're going to be reading is Dr. Seuss's Did I Ever Tell You How Lucky You Are? And I'm just going to be playing music that I've already pre-recorded. Most of this music is on my BandLab account. I haven't been putting the music onto my Bandcamp, my website where you can download it for free lately, because I just been lazy. That's pretty much what's happening there. So I'm gonna start uploading all those songs to my website where they'll be free download once again very soon. But I have a lot of things going on, and maybe I'll just make a quick announcement of all those different things that are going on. So let me check Facebook, not Facebook, YouTube, see if anybody is. Nope, it's all good. Okay, so some reason YouTube is a low. They're saying it's low resolution. I don't know why. Whatever. But what was I saying? Oh, announcements. Let me get some more music going. Let's see. September Piano. Let's play this one next. Is this one? Oh, no. Okay, so what is happening in the world of Shalom's Unsnobby Music Hobby Podcast? Lots of things are happening. I'm back at work. I'm a teacher in my daytime job, and that is taking up a lot of my time, whereas in the summer I had more time to jam and do different things. So that's happening. And I also have my own business. This is I wouldn't really call this a business. This is probably more like branding of I just want to do live music and kind of a podcast show kind of thing. So here it is. That's what this is for fun and for, building up a brand over time. And I also have a side business, which is that business is a photo booth. So I have a little photo booth business where I didn't really know exactly where I was going with it. The problem with that was it's trying to figure out how to get customers like constantly coming in. And I just hadn't really figured that out yet. So that was a problem, but I think I've come up with a solution to that problem because I was praying the 54-day novena, which is, a rosary prayer where you're praying the rosary for 54 days and you're asking for help from the Blessed Mother. And, we didn't do our prayers and everything yet, but I will get into that. Or maybe I'll do that and come back because I don't want to get distracted and forget to do it. So we'll do our intro prayer. My Imitation of Christ book is way over there, but I do have it on the phone, so I'll probably just pull that up on my phone. But anyway, here we go. In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritui Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, Benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritui Sancti. Amen. Okay, so what I was saying was something, and I knew I was going to forget. So let's see. I was talking about the business. Oh, yes. So I was doing a 54-day novena rosary and trying, and of course, praying for the success of the church and for everything to go good with that, for everybody to stay faithful, especially the priests and bishops in the church. But also, I was praying for the health of my family, which is always good to pray for, and the success of my business. And I was talking to my wife, talking to some other people I work with at the school, and my brother and some stuff, and I was getting some really good ideas. One of the ones I have is to, promote the photo booth based more on schools and around school events and make it more of a fundraising thing for the schools than just me to make money. So I could do birthday parties, family reunions, graduations, all those things. But then you have to basically convince people to hire you and to pay you to do it. Whereas if I do it this way with the schools really have nothing to lose at all. One, they're getting pictures, so they're getting more contact with their parents, and more face-to-face time with the parents, and the parents are getting involved with the school. And number two, they're getting basically free money because I'm going to come in with my backdrop and my photo booth printer and take the pictures and print the pictures right on the spot, 4x6 size pictures, so the kids can take them home right from school, or if it's an after school event, the parents and the kids can take their pictures and leave right away with their pictures. There's no shipping, there's no stamps, there's no waiting, nothing. The school, all they have to do is say yes and then do nothing. They hand out a flyer, which is easy to do. They're sending stuff home all the time in the kids' book bags anyway. So all they have to do is send out a flyer, which I will already have designed, and the parents will go to a website that has a link for them to pay and to put their kid's name in and everything. So I just finally figured all of it out. I think all the moving pieces. So I'm going to start, working on that, because that's going to be so that I can make extra money to pay off my school loans, of which I have about 40 grand. It's ridiculous. I would never suggest anyone to get school loans ever, 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 ever. Get scholarships. If you don't mind military, join the military for a few years, get your GI Bill to pay everything, or get scholarships, get a sports scholarship, or pay cash. Go slow, one class at a time, two classes at a time, and cash flow it. Like, don't ever get loans, because I'm drowning in school loans right now. And I know some people who work with me at this elementary school who have 90, 100, $120,000 in school loans. I couldn't imagine. I have 40, and it's giving me the biggest headache of a lifetime. And you only get a headache once you start trying to pay it off. So that's always a problem. So I know I'm supposed to be reading Dr. Susan, but let me see. I don't think anybody's really watching right now. So it doesn't matter. I can do what I want to do. It's my podcast, for me, by me. Anyway, what was I getting at? School loans, right? So the problem with school loans are, when you're not paying them, they feel like nothing. It feels like you haven't borrowed any money at all. That's the real problem. But as soon as you have to start paying, imagine, like, 40 grand is one luxury car, or two brand new cars, or 4 used cars. Like, imagine looking at it that way, because most people are familiar with getting car notes. The amount of money I'm paying monthly for these loans, if I wanted to pay them off in 10 years, would be $500 a month for 10 years. That's 120 payments of $500. That's a lot of money. Of course, there's going to be a lot of interest on there because I'm paying over such a long time. If I wanted to pay in 5 years, think of it in car note terms. If I wanted to pay this 40 grand off in 5 years, I'd be paying $1,000 a month for 60 months. $1,000. That is most people, depending on where you live, but where I live, that's rent right there. That's almost your whole rent. $1,000 a month. For some people, that's their entire paycheck. That's if I wanted to pay it off in 5 years. Thank God that I'm a teacher and there is teacher forgiveness for, especially for special education teachers. I'll be able to get $17,000 off if I teach for 5 years in a low income school. And some people will say, well, that's not fair. I have school loans too, and I'm not getting money off. And you know what I say? It is fair because, especially in the school where I teach, there are teachers dropping like flies. I mean, they're leaving all the time. Some teachers leave after Christmas break. Some teachers leave a month or 2 months into the school year. We haven't lost any yet so far, so that's good. But last year we lost a teacher 2 months in. The year before we lost a teacher 2 months in. Actually, we lost like 3 teachers 2 months in the first year I was working there. I don't even know how I survived. But then some teachers drop off after Christmas break. Most teachers drop off at the end of the school year. So they signed their contract for 1 year and they just leave. They just don't come back. And the way that the school district I work at does it, they do a year-by-year contract. So it's very easy for anyone to just leave after they do their year. They're going to go to a different district or they're just going to quit teaching entirely. And this is happening mostly in Title I schools. So it is absolutely fair for the government to give people who can stick it out for 5 years at a Title I school that is really struggling additional money to pay off their loans, because we're doing the city, the state, the country a service by staying at these schools that are ridiculously hard to staff. So I'm very glad that I'm going to be able to get that. And then that will kind of bring the damage down to about $22,000. That is, if I don't pay any additional. Maybe, hopefully, if the business goes well, which is the point I'm getting back to. The whole point and reason why I want to have the business is for 2 reasons. The photo booth business, maybe 3. And I don't know, maybe this will just be a business podcast because I'm already 15 minutes in. So, oh, and I forgot to do the imitation of Christ. We'll do it at the end. But the point I was getting at was the whole reason for me wanting to do a business was for one, I have always been obsessed with having my own business. And that's most likely because my mom and dad had their own businesses when I was younger. My mom had a daycare for the longest time, on and off kind of, but she had a daycare. Oh, what happened? They flipped the camera. I did not mean to do that on Instagram. Oops. Sorry, Instagram. I was trying to focus it better, but whatever. So like I was saying, my mom had a daycare when I was younger for many, many years. And my dad had a number of different businesses that he did. And so just always my idea, like, I want my own business. I never thought in my mind, like, I want my own business like my parents had their own business. I never thought that, but that's probably what ended up happening. So that's number 1. Number 2 is that it's just frustrating sometimes working for someone else when you feel like you're very creative, you are very responsible. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just saying this is how I feel. I feel like I'm a creative person. I'm responsible. I did military service and all that, so I understand how that goes. You can take initiative. I take a lot of initiative. Like, they didn't have any pictures hung up in my school, and the principal was saying, I really want pictures hung up, but he wasn't really doing anything about it. So I was like, hey, I can take pictures. I can print them out real big. I blew them up 24 by 36, put them on wood, hung them on the walls. So now there's beautiful pictures throughout the school that some of them I took, some of them I didn't, but the vast majority of them I printed and hung myself. And a lot of those pictures, I didn't even get any money off of it. I just basically charged them just for the materials and all the work and time I put into it. It was just donated basically. But I just took the initiative because I was like, I agreed with the principal. I think it would make the school look better. So I, tried to make it happen. Another thing was just like today, the other teacher that I worked with was saying she wanted not desks, tables in her classroom. And we were waiting for the custodians to bring the tables. It had already been a week. So actually yesterday I took all the stuff off the table so I'd be able to move them into the classroom. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take this stuff off because I know you guys are busy. All you have to do is lift it upstairs and bring it into the classroom, or put it in the elevator and bring it into the classroom. So they were like, okay, we're going to do it. And they didn't end up doing it. So today I just thought I'm not going to wait anymore. So I grabbed another guy who I normally work with, and I was like, can you help me take this table upstairs? It was heavy, it was cumbersome, but we did it. It took us like 10 minutes to do it. Now, I could have been waiting around for weeks, months. Maybe it would have never happened. So I think that that's one of the things I pride myself on, taking an initiative, trying to get things done. So one of the main reasons I want to have my own business is because in certain places, depending on where you are, you really can't take initiative like you want to, that it's going to completely benefit where you're working or really improve where you're working. So I want to be able to take an initiative and try something and maybe completely fail, maybe totally fall flat on my face, lose a whole bunch of money, which I've done before in business. But I want to take that hit. I want to take the chance. And if it's really good, I want it to be able to, improve the business and make a lot of money because it's really good, or just totally fail and lose some money because it was bad. But I feel like I want it more riding on me versus, oh, you're making all the decisions and I have to work around you, if that makes sense. Anybody who's listening. So that's another reason. And then one of the big reasons I want my own business right now, particularly, is to help pay off the school loans. That is a big reason, because if I can make an additional $300 a month, $400 a month, hopefully $1,000, all of that money will be quote unquote extra, because the money that I make from my salary at the school is just over enough for what we need for all our bills, to pay all our bills for whatever, and still have some left over. I'm going to bring you on. Invite. I've never done this before, so let me see. I'm adding people. I don't even know how that works. Hopefully not lose a lot of money on the business. That's right. My wife said that hopefully we won't be losing a lot of money. Of course not. There she is live. I don't know if I can hear you on there though. They can hear you, but I can't, I guess. Oh, showing the picture. Anyway, what was I getting at? I forgot what I was getting at. School loans. Oh, yes. So, yeah, you're distracting me. Just get off the live Facebook. You don't know how to get off? Can I kick you off? Oh, there you go. Okay, that's for a special occasion next time, because I don't know how to make that work. Anyway, where was I? I was talking about, oh yeah, being able to pay off the school loans. So yeah, so if I can make another 200, then I can put another 200 on the school loans. If I make another 300, 400,000, whatever I make. What's funny? My wife's laughing back there, turning her phone. I don't know what she's doing. I can't see anything. What, you thought you were still on the line? You're not. I don't see you. I see you watching, but look, you're distracting the good people of this podcast, and they're going to be upset like, what is he talking about? So I'm meandering a little bit, but I'm getting back to the point because this turned from a Dr. Seuss read along podcast to a All My Thoughts podcast. So if I can get an additional $1, $2, $1,000, all that money will be able to go to the school loans because my salary from teaching pays all my bills already with a little extra left over. So the business right now is to be able to basically take however much money that is, and put it onto my school loans to get them paid off, because I'm doing the Dave Ramsey baby step plan, and part of that is just paying off how to pay off all your debt and then to start saving for retirement and things like that. So we're doing the snowball method. We've gotten rid of all our credit cards. Everything else that was a debt is gone, and now all that money that we were paying on to other things is being paid onto the school loans. I mean, I sold all kinds of stuff to get those credit cards paid off. I sold my MacBook. I took all our extra money. I calculated every penny and took all our extra money and put it on it. Those credit cards got knocked out. I think it was a month and a half. We destroyed, and it was a lot. It wasn't a little bit of money. I think one card had 600. One had, well, the Best Buy card with the MacBook had $1,700. So I ended up selling the MacBook for 800 or something. And then we just ate the rest. I put 700 on there. But I sold my speakers. I had a subwoofer. I had two smaller speakers. I had all kinds of DJ stuff. And of course, I was also doing photo booth gigs and other things like that to make additional money on the side. But we got rid of those credit cards, and now we just have the school loans. This is the really hard part because paying off 40 grand is no easy task. So just don't get it to begin with, I say. Now back to the point I was making. But first, some water. So I shall return in a bit. So something new I learned for the podcast. Make sure you have water before you start. That's my new rule, my new thing I learned. Because talking for 25 minutes is not easy. Plus, I was talking all day and raising my voice with these kids at school because they don't listen. That's why teachers leave. Long story short, the reasons why I want my own business, one, because my parents did it, and that work for someone else, the responsibility for success or failure is in someone else's hands. At any time, that job, that company could say, oh, by the way, we're bankrupt, you're fired. They could say, we have to lay off half the people at the company because we didn't make enough sales. So the onus for success or failure isn't on you when you work for somebody else. You can say, well, I can do a good job and I can be promoted and I can be rare. But no, anything could happen. That whole company could go belly up out of nowhere and you could just be out of a job, God forbid. But the onus isn't on you. No matter how good of a job you do, of course, if you get fired because you were lazy or whatever, that's on you. But getting, like, as far as good things happening, that's not something you can really control. How long you keep your job, if you do a good job, the company could just go bust. It could go bankrupt. And it's happened before. Sip of water. So that's number 2. I want the onus to be on me. The onus of success or failure, I want it to be on me. And one of the things I'm going to do before I fully translate over to only being self-employed, one of the things I'm going to do is save up a year's worth of salary. So the salary I'm making right now at the school, like with the business and the school, I want to save up a full year's worth of salary. And then I'm going to say to the school, forget you. I'm done. At least for however long, I'll have a year. And if you have a year's worth of salary saved and your business is just going okay, let's say I need to use 4 months worth of salary because the business wasn't exactly how I wanted. Well, that means I survived for 8 months so that I can still try again next year. And let's say I make enough money, but I needed 1 month of that savings. So that means I still have 7 months left, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So I still have 7 months of savings left. So that's why I want to save a year's worth before I jump over, because the business could basically make no money for 6 months and I'd still be perfectly fine, which I highly doubt, because if I can make my whole salary's worth of savings with the business, I don't see why I wouldn't be able to do that consistently. Of course, there's going to be slow times in the year for a business, and there's going to be faster times and slower times, but that's why you have to have the savings. So that's how I'm going to protect my family and protect myself, basically. And that's the goal. But I digress, because I was saying number 1 is because of my parents. That's what they did. Number 2, the onus is on you. Number 3, I want to pay off my school loans, and that's going to be really hard to do if I'm doing Uber or I'm doing some other side job, delivering pizzas or whatever. I just can't guarantee how much additional money I'll be able to make. Whereas with this photo booth stuff, if I do it the right way, and I have in the past, I think last year, calculating everything, I made something like an additional $3,000. That's not bad. And it wasn't working consistently every day, like, okay, after I get off work at the school, I'm going to work in a pizza place every day. Like, I didn't do that. I was working some weekends here, some weekends there, just not really doing it consistently because I couldn't figure out how to get clients. But just doing it here and there, I made $3,000. So by the grace of God and the help of the Blessed Virgin Mary, if I can figure out how to get these consistent clients, I don't see why I wouldn't be able to make $6,000 or $9,000. I don't see why I can't double or triple what I made previously. And if I can make $9,000 or $6,000, then I can put an additional $9,000 or $6,000 onto my school loans, and that's going to knock it down even faster. Because remember, I only have to pay $22,000. The other $17,500 is going to get paid after I do 2 more years of teaching. I'm going to drink some water real quick. That was an old song I made. I was talking on that one. I think that was the only talking. me drink some more water real quick. Man, my throat is really parched. But like I was saying, and I'm pretty much going to wrap it up after this. That was the third reason, was to pay off school loans. So number one, because my parents did it. Number two, the onus is on you. Whether the business succeeds or fails, it's all on you. Number three was because I want to pay off my school loans. And I'm not sure what number four was, but that's that. After I pay off my school loans, of course, then the goal will be to pay off the house that we are trying to get. If you guys are subscribed to my YouTube channel, then you'll see the little house tour I did to, kind of see what it looked like. If you're not, you can go over there by going to sdcason.com, and you will see at the bottom a little YouTube icon. Click that and you'll be able to get over to the YouTube channel where I do live streams of the podcast. If you're on YouTube, you guys know y'all are here already. If you're on Instagram or Facebook or listening to the podcast on one of the podcasting platforms, then you must not be on YouTube, and you can go to sdcason.com and find all the links, including the YouTube link. You'll be able to go to my channel and scroll through, because there's a ton of live videos, because I do a live video every day. But go ahead and scroll through and you'll see the house tour video that I did. We're hoping that we get that house. And if we do, then the next thing I want to do with the business is to pay off the house. Once the house is paid off, then I want to start saving up for retirement. None of this can be done at my current salary. My salary is good. A lot of people complain who are teachers. And like I said, I'm pretty much going to wrap it up after this. But a lot of people, it's already been 30 minutes, but it's okay. That's the point of the podcast. I can do what I want to do, right? Long story short, a lot of people who are teachers complain. They say that they're not getting paid enough money. Somebody else is on Facebook. I can't see who it is, though. Hello, whoever it is. A lot of people complain, They're like, I'm not making enough money. But this is what I see them do. They come in early, an hour early, 2 hours early, to work on their whatever it is, grading papers, whatever. They stay late, 30 minutes late, an hour late, 2 hours late. Some teachers, we get off at our school at 4 o'clock. Some teachers don't leave until 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. That's 3 hours after it was your time to be home. So I'm like, what could I pay? If I were the boss, what could I pay you to make you come in and work for I don't even know. What is that? 10 hours, 12 hours a day? What could I possibly pay you? It couldn't be enough, right? What up, Ronald? Just talking about business, salaries, saving money, and all kinds of random stuff today. But yeah, so if you're coming in early, if you're coming in at 7 a.m., and leaving at 7 p.m., but you're actually scheduled to come in at 9 and leave at 4, of course, I'm not paying you enough. What could I pay you to make it enough? So what I tell other teachers who complain about their salary is, look, don't come in early, don't stay late, and you will be getting paid, what you're worth. When I go in at 8:50, which is our report time, and I leave at 4:10, which is my leaving time. I don't ever come in early. I don't ever stay late. And I'm happy with my salary. Is it enough? It's good enough. They're paying me for the job. Do I need more? Of course I need more, but I'm not going to complain to the government and say, pay me more because I'm a struggling teacher. No, that's life. But that's why I want to be like my man Ronald, who has his own business. I don't cut hair, though, so that's not going to work out for me. So I'm going to do my photo booth business. And like I said, I hope that over time it works out, for me to be able to produce enough money to be able to pay off my school loans, pay off my house, and, go from there. So that's what that's about. Thanks everybody who's tuning in. Pretty much done with the podcast now. But appreciate you guys. I'm going to read a little bit of this book, Imitation of Christ, and then I am going to head out. Look, at the end, everybody want to come in on Facebook when I'm already done talking. Y'all going to have to go back and rewatch it. But I'm going to get some water. I'm going to get this book, and I'll be right back, you guys. Ronald says, keep grinding. Yes, I'm trying, man. All right, we're going to read from The Imitation of Christ to close this podcast out. I've already been talking for like 40 minutes. My throat's getting dry. Imitation of Christ, great book. Check it out on Amazon, anywhere books are sold. It's probably like $10 or something. So book 2, chapter 12, on the royal road of the cross. Whoever wishes to come after me must deny his very self, take up his cross, and follow me. Santos, what up? Okay, why are you afraid to take up your cross since it is the only way to the kingdom of heaven? In the cross is salvation and life. Remember that Jesus has gone before you, bearing his cross, and gave his life for you upon that cross, so that you may bear your own cross and long to die on it for love of him. For if you die with him, you will also live with him. And if you have shared his suffering, you will also share his glory. All right. That's it for today. Thanks everybody who tuned in. And if you didn't hear the whole thing, this video will be on my Facebook page. It'll be on Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. You can go to sdcason.com to find all my stuff. Or if you listen on Spotify, iTunes, search Unsnobby Music Hobby, and you will find all the old episodes. In the meantime, in between time, stay holy, my friends, and God love you. Peace out.